Evening all. Stephen here. Coming to you from my back garden in glorious sunshine, warmth. Oh, amazing. Cheers. Having a cheeky Friday night beer. Because you could have a cold lager when it's weather like this. It's only bog standard stuff, nothing special. And I'm smoking. Excuse me, sir. My Shire Cobbett stroke Danish hybrid. And in it I've got some Germain's Rich Dark Flake. Which is the UK equivalent of Stonehaven, so I understand. I've never had Stonehaven, so I can't compare the two. Expect some dog noise during this video because he's brewing up for it, I can tell. So, how is everyone? It's been a bit of a strange week for me. Of course, we had the tragic event in Manchester Monday night. And I know people will say, well, there's tragic events all over the world, you know, yours, the one in Britain, was no worse than anywhere else. But I think it's human nature that you things that happen closer to home resonate more with you, especially if people are involved are people that you can more readily identify with. I think that's just the way of the world. And obviously I'm the father of two daughters, and a lot of the victims were young girls or young women. And also, I think I've mentioned in a previous video, both of my daughters, although they're both full-time students, in the evening they work part-time in a major music venue up in town. And we have to accept that such places are soft targets these days, and are going to be for the foreseeable future. And before the attack on Monday, a couple of weeks ago, I'd asked my eldest daughter what kind of training they're given to deal with any kind of incident. And effectively the answer was none. Other than being told to hide behind the counter or the bar in the event of anything kicking off. Not very good. So if anything good comes out of this terrible incident Monday night, it will be that people that run these kind of venues are forced to actually put a proper procedure in place and train their staff how to react. We can but hope in any case. Dog noise. I told you. He has to get in on the act, even if it's only with sound. So there was that, and my daughter actually had a shift booked for the Wednesday night and was worried about going in, and I told her that, you know, ironically, in the immediate aftermath of such an event, it's probably the safest time of all to work, but because everyone's on heightened alert. But she didn't go, she managed to cancel, as did most of the people. Understandably, they're young, they were worried. He's chewing a plastic bottle. I buy him toys, he'd rather have a plastic bottle. Cheers. I mean, I worked for the government for 34 years and worked in government offices all through the main years of the IRA bombing campaign. I was working up in central London, in Soho, when an IRA bomb went off in a McDonald's just a couple of hundred yards up the road and killed the policeman trying to defuse it. What can you do? Well, you were scared, but you just have to carry on. Your life has to carry on as normal. And this is what I try to explain to my daughter. See if I can get him to have a bowl. It's quieter. So yeah, that's what I try to explain to my daughter, and I think she's working Sunday night. And you just have to carry on. Won't stop me worrying, of course, but you don't obviously don't want to transfer that worry to them. And then beginning of this week I had a doctor's appointment, which should have been a routine appointment, but I mentioned to the doctor an issue that had arisen with me, that had been troubling me, and it kind of snowballed from there. Before I knew it, I was having a physical and having to drop a sample in at the local hospital in accident and emergency. And then I had to go up there the next day and have an X-ray done and a load of blood tests. And I've got a repeat appointment with my doctor in about a week and a half time, when I'll find out all the results, unless of course they turn something up in the meantime. And you know, I'm of an age where it sets you pondering. Tom, Northwest Pipe Smoker, put up a video a couple of weeks ago, and he's about a year or two younger than me, but he was having some health issues, and it caused him to ponder on his own mortality, which I think is unavoidable once you get beyond sort of 55, 60. I mean, I think it was when I was 50, the realisation dawned on me, and it really didn't up until that point, that there were far more years behind me than there were left ahead. And then once you get past 60, you start to think, yeah, we're getting on a bit here. And especially as I think, I remember reading in a novel once, one of the characters said, you know, when you get to 60 you enter the cancer zone. And, you know, whereas it's not exclusively a disease of old age, it is primarily a disease of old age. And so once you get past 60 and you start, because things start to wear out, that's human nature, there's nothing you can do about that. And once you start to get past 60 and you start to get these pains in weird places, you've got no logical explanation why it should hurt. And in the back of my mind, at least, and probably a lot of people as well, you think, God, is it the big C? It was the writer Charles Bukowski. I'm quite a fan of his. He said something, because when he was getting on, he said something along the lines of, I mean, this is not an exact quote, but he said, I don't know about anybody else, but when I bend over to tie my shoes up every morning, I think, God almighty, now what? And it's because in some new place you've got some new sharp stabbing pain. Most of which turn out to be perfectly harmless. But of course, going for all these tests and the X-ray and one thing and another, you know, it set me thinking. And I probably have far too much time to sit and ponder on this stuff as it is. I mean, I think if you're active and you've got distractions, it's not so much of a problem. And so the first couple of days of this week, 2 or 3 days, what with the incident in Manchester and my daughters, and then having to go for these tests, you know, it was weird. Got quite sombre and, you know, tended to reflect and think about things. But strangely enough, the past couple of days, it's worn off. And I suppose I've sort of kind of adopted an attitude of, well, what will be, will be. Added to that, what's the point of worrying until I know? If there's anything wrong, they'll call me, they'll let me know. If they don't, I'll go into the doctor, she'll say, well, all of that lot was clear. We'll have to sort of do some more digging around, find out. But until then, why worry? We're a long time dead. Well, this has turned a bit dark. You'll notice, though, that the worry has not stopped me smoking, drinking, and sitting out in the sun. What can you do? You could have carried on, haven't you? Carry on until the end. And I think before I get any more philosophical, I'll leave it there. This is toasty, really toasty, lovely stuff. No barbecues in the air tonight, maybe tomorrow. And I'm going to do another video tomorrow, when I will do the video that I was going to do tonight, but I'm going to do tomorrow night instead. Thank you. And as a mark of appreciation from the boy, he's my biggest fan. And I may even do one on Sunday because I'm on my own all weekend and the weather's supposed to be nice. Oh, nah, he's kicked someone else off. Oh, jeez. What can you do? And this one's going to keep on barking now. Anyway, that's all. There will be another video tomorrow. And there may be another one on Sunday, which may be the one that I was going to do last Sunday, or it may even be the one that I was planning to do the following Saturday. Who cares? Yeah. Let's mix it up. I'll surprise myself. I'm gonna go now. See you all, everyone. Hope wherever you are, you're safe, content, happy and warm, and the sun is shining on you. Cheers, everyone. Bye bye.